Watch this. Lots of space, eye contact, without saying anything, and then, hey, can I just tell you something really quickly? Cool. Do you want to kiss me now?
A lot of people in the manosphere unnecessarily romanticize Islam and relationship dynamics in Muslim majority countries, especially those who are not familiar with what is going on. So-called Islam maxing. Oh, just Islam max, bro, and get an obedient wife. Some even try to convert to Islam to find a wife. Typical stereotypes of Muslim women being subservient, good, loyal wives who cook and clean, right? This couldn't be any further from the truth. People overall romanticize Islam in the BP community too much. They see it as some sort of ultimate sword of justice, hanging over all the debauchery and female hypergamy. I understand why out of MTAW and manosphere folks might have sympathy for Islam. I get that. But this is one of the great cases of female nature that everybody talks about. Women are women. Sure, if you do Islam maxing in a country like Afghanistan, I don't know, that might be a little bit more different. But out of the Middle Eastern countries are not what you think they are. They are a lot more closer to the West than people think. First of all, oh brother, I will just become a Muslim. It is a moot point if you do it in the West. Literally pointless. They are not any different than Western women, bro. Just cause they put on a rack doesn't change a damn thing. If you were living in Afghanistan, where female desire, need, and nature is artificially altered and suppressed by force, whether by state force or social pressure, countries where there are no legal safety for women who divorce and cheat, where you don't go to prison for the rest of your life for saying you didn't like the Barbie movie, right? It could be different in those countries. But even then, you are not gonna move there. Nobody will. Nobody will move to Afghanistan for obvious reasons. Come on, guys. And if you are not doing the so-called Islam maxing to find a wife in a country like Afghanistan, if you are doing it in the West, there is really no point. A word of friendly advice to all the dudes who have delusions about Islam and Muslim couples. Muslim couple forums on the internet are great for taking a look into their lives. If you want to look into stuff some of these guys go through, it is like dead bedrooms, but Muslim version of it instead. Even more brutal. Every day on that forum, you will see females admitting that they hate their husbands, how they married them to please their family, and now they regret it. Guys, that is because you can't change the female nature. If you force it on them, they will hate you even more. It is never gonna be you and your hijab wife playing house forever ever after. Put that through your head. Alright? They are not any different than Western women. I really don't understand this idealization of Muslim women that some people in the manosphere have. But without rambling too much about this, I am gonna show you some posts from that forum. Women despising their husbands, men admitting their women settled for them or used them for a green card. You name it, any oofy doofy story, you name it, they have it. It is over for these people. Peep these. It is legit more brutal than dead bedrooms, guys. The place is teeming with posts like this. I am just showing you what I've come across in a couple of days. I brought my ex to UK. As soon as she obtained naturalization, she left me. I am feeling very hurt, lost, betrayed, and feel powerless. Any advice? Brother, you should have asked for that advice before you went through that action. It is kinda late to ask for advice. These are oofy doofies of life. Oofy doofies at work, oofy doofies at home, oofy doofies, any aspect of life. I bet you guys anything he's coming from some relatively wealthy and educated family that could immigrate to the UK legally. Probably is either a doctor or a code monkey. You know, some oofy doofy job with zero know-how on life. And the result is this. Of course, she left his bitch. And I can't even blame her, guys. I cannot even blame her. I would too. In life, you gotta take advantage of people like him. There ain't no saving guys like him. Guys, understand this. There is nothing you could do before he made that mistake that could stop him. Nothing. Nothing you could have done. And you know what, man? If you tried to show him my videos before he brought her to the West, he would have gotten mad at you. There is no saving people like him. And I love how they always end their posts with, any advice? Oh, what do I do now? Subscribe to the channel, brother. At that point, that is the only thing you can do. And hey, if you wanna LARP as if you decided to go your own way and play it off like, oh, you didn't fire me, I quit myself, then there is Hammerhand. Then there is TFM. You know, the flavor is up to you. But you are gonna subscribe, one way or another. How the young Muslims get married nowadays. It is kind of fitting that the post above him is exactly how the vast majority of Muslim men in the West get married. Their SMV is really low, so they mostly get into an arranged marriage set up by their mummies, or they import some poor soul, some prisoner from their own countries and end up like posters above him. That is how, my guy. The next, I'm a speedrun this shit. I can only deal with a certain amount of idiots like these. My wife of less than 2 years told me she settled for me, which is the reason she married me. It has really put a bad feeling in me because I married her for love. Told me this after a small argument. I settled for you because I just wanted to get married. I didn't respond at the time and we moved on. I didn't take your comment well. I have been really quiet and distant. I just keep thinking I am a backup and her dream man is out there and she's always thinking about him. I cannot accept being second or third option. Bro, you are not even the third option. Who are you fooling, bro? It is just she married you just because. I have started being away from the house more to clear my head, and I can't even look at her like before. I am just upset all of a sudden and I feel scammed. Brother, you scammed yourself. What do you mean I feel scammed? These guys are something else, man. Continues. When she asked me why I am upset, I told her. Then she tried to apologize, saying she was not being serious. 100% she was being serious. Just not trying to, she's trying to salvage her oofy doofy, her beta box deluxe. Understand this. I bet you anything, there were millions of signs, obvious red flags, but he ignored all of them. And at the end, the truth came back to collect. Like I said, the truth is a very generous lender. It will lend you anything you want, almost anything you want, without asking too many questions. Because it is easy and convenient to ignore the harsh truth. But it is just as a brutal collector. When it is time to collect, that smiling guy will be gone. And all you see is gonna be the brutal face of the Grim Reaper. Just because you ignore it doesn't mean it ignores you. It is like cancer. Smoking for 4 decades, 3 decades. Ignore. Well, you gotta pay up. You gotta pay the price one day. This guy ignored around and found out. And I love how he's like, has this happened to anyone? Don't worry, brother. If that is what you are worried about, you are not alone. Half, at least half of Muslim marriages are like that. And I am being very conservative here. Because when you consider the fact that this is the case even for non-Muslim marriages, a case of a woman reluctantly settling even for regular Western non-Muslim marriages, it is safe to say this ratio is way higher than half among Muslim marriages, where women often marry just to get away from their families or, get away from social pressure, right? Another one. Wife told me she feels forced while romance and intimacy. We are married for almost 2 years. We had many moments in first year of marriage when I tried to be romantic with her, like initiating to kiss her, etc. She would try to avoid playfully. It felt like we were just playing and messing with each other. Going forward, things changed. Playfulness turned to rudeness. She started to hit me physically a few times when I tried to initiate. Even normal kissing or hugging was an issue for her. She recently told me that she doesn't like kissing and penetrative sex. We haven't consummated our marriage yet. Bro, this guy is married for 2 years. 2 freaking years they have been married and they haven't even had sex yet. Wait, what? What were you even talking about feeling forced while romance and intimacy? There was no intimacy then. Bro, like these guys are something else, man. 2 years into the relationship, into the marriage, not even relationship. And they haven't even consummated yet. And the worst is yet to come, guys. I tried to talk to her many times, but to no use. She doesn't want to talk about it. I told her that I can't live like this, but she doesn't care. Even when I asked her if she loves me, she said no. The brutal end of an Oofy Doofy, man. I mean, another case of Oofy Doofy thinking he can avoid the BP Reaper. They are married for 2 years, 2 working years, and he hasn't even touched her yet. Actually, wait, no, this isn't even the tragic part of the Oofy Doofy yet. The tragic part, that part is gonna come later. Trust and believe it is gonna come. That is when he's gonna complete the evolution. Oh, I am getting very impatient with the situation, brother. You are a little too late to get impatient. You waited 2 years to have sex with your wife, bro. I would say you have the patience of a saint. Saint Oofy Doofy. It is over for these guys, man. It is over. But hey, at least she was being honest with him. I mean, you gotta give her that. She was keeping it real because she doesn't respect the Oofy Doofy, or she doesn't have any fear of losing him. It would be a blessing for her if he decided to leave. Pitiful situation for the Oofy Doofy, man. Imagine your own wife telling you that she doesn't love you. She never loved you, brother. Put that in your head. Of course, she feels forced. She felt the same way the day when you proposed to her. Or when she said yes, the day she probably regrets to this very day. It was all an act. She is just being honest now. Another one. I have had my nikah, but don't want to go ahead with the rukhsati. By the way, nikah is the marriage, the wedding, and the rukhsati is the consummation of the marriage. I am stuck in quite the problem. I had my nikah with my husband 5 months back. Ever since the nikah, I don't find my husband attractive or good looking at all. He's an average looking male. But when the proposal came, my parents convinced me. Looks aren't even that important. They really wanted to go ahead with this. He's an only son and a doctor. But so am I. Pay attention here, guys. Read between the lines. She says he's a doctor, but so am I. I don't even need this Oofy Doofy's money. That is what she's trying to say. It is over, man. For these guys, it is all over. This guy is trying to dodge the natural selection. He couldn't find a partner on his own otherwise. So what does he do? Runs to his mommy. And his mom is gonna find a girl from the village back home. This is what tampering with natural selection. It is brutal, man. He says the sweetest things to me, which my heart doesn't react to as it should. Of course it doesn't. Another one. I was wondering what are some good places for young, newlywed Muslim couple to reside in. I am not yet married, but my fiancé is a niqabi, mashallah, and I am planning to move to Germany. For my master's degree, inshallah. I don't want her to face any sort of Islamophobia and or racist attacks, considering we are from India as well. Brutal, man. Golf was an option, but I have seen firsthand through my uncles and dad how they were treated inferior compared to others there in Gulf countries. I really, wherever my fiancé and I reside, we decided to live only in a Muslim community and nothing else. Is Germany good for a niqabi? If not, what are the alternatives? Indian and a niqabi. Not even a hijabi. Niqabi. Brother, like, you are definitely gonna face some racism as an Indian with a niqabi wife. I mean, even from Middle Easterns in Germany. Other ethnics. Oh, I will just live in a Muslim community. Yeah, sure. It is gonna work out just like that, huh? I mean, I don't know about Birmingham. I don't know if you guys are really wilding over there. Thankfully, I don't live there, right? But people like them are definitely gonna get stares, at least, at the very least, in Central Europe. If not more than just stares. Bro, like, even other ethnics will give you stares. Also, I don't know why you would want to move to Europe if a Muslim community is such an utmost priority. I mean, I don't know about Birmingham, but in Central Europe, they will definitely get stares. Even in the ethnic ghettos that are Muslim communities on paper, they will smell the weed in the streets of those ghettos. Shisha bars, left and right. Muslim community on paper. I mean, he's so clueless, man. He has no idea what is going on.
The power a white woman has in the legal system is atrocious, especially if you're not a white, like if you're a white man yourself, still. But if you're like a minority man, you are. If a white girl wants you to be in jail or some shit, bro, you are. The police, society, all these little white knights, all everyone else around you will believe the white woman over you 9.9 times out of 10.
Say whatever you want about Hamza, but he was right when he said, if you're a brown dude, a white female can easily get you in a trouble if she wanted to. Society is just gonna side with her, regardless of the circumstances, no matter what. And then, not only you are an Indian, you have a niqabi wife in the West as an Indian. Dude, like, you just committed the cardinal sin in the West. You are gonna bring everybody together in despising you. Two-faced liberals. are gonna blast you cause your wife is a niqabi. In their mind, there is a crime against humanity. They will act friendly, but it is all an act. And every liberal, every leftist is gonna assume you have a certain stance against LGBT community, which is likely the case for this guy. Let's be real here. Come on, guys. I mean, if your wife is a niqabi, not even a hijabi, but a full niqabi, I wouldn't really expect to see you in a pride parade. Let's put it that way. And then, on top of that, you are gonna have all the right-wing people hating on your ass for obvious reason. Even some of the not so political people are not gonna like you, just because of the fact that your wife is a niqabi. Being Indian alone is enough for white nationalists, but even some of the apolitical normies are gonna be feeling some kind of way about you. All those little white knights are gonna come after you. In short, you will be that unifying force, bringing everyone together. Oh, I don't want her to face any Islamophobia. Bro, she's a niqabi. Why are you trying to bring her to the West, to Europe, if you don't want her to face any sort of Islamophobia? And I'm just being realistic here. I am not saying this is what should happen. I am just saying this is what is gonna happen. And guys, I love the first response to his question. It is over for England cells. England, Birmingham. I can legit go days without even seeing a non-Muslim. Yeah.
I doubt you even a Muslim. You're probably a Shia, innit? You're probably a Shia, innit? They're all kuffar. They're all kuffar. What? Who could do anything about it? What? What? Shia kuffar, what? Do something.
And guys, keep in mind that the sub is filled, literally filled, teeming with posts like this. If I had more time, I could have made this a 400-minute episode. Endless, bro. I don't love the person I was forced to marry. My wife cheated on me. I live like a stranger with my husband. Marrying my husband is the biggest regret in life. That is what happens when you try to pressure someone to act like someone she's not. Muslim women, yes, are still a woman. This is what happens when you try to do that in the Western landscape. Brother, this ain't the village in Afghanistan where your dad had you. You bring that niqabi over here and it is GG. It is G freaking G, baby. And once again, I have to stress this. Guys, trust me when I say this. I know they're kind. These people cannot be helped. There ain't no saving any of these people. And guys, before I end this commentary, just to drive this point home once again, to all the guys that tell men to Islam max, telling them to become Muslims to avoid female nature. Bro, it is all pointless. It is already over. If you do arranged marriage stuff, this is the end game waiting for you. What I have shown you. A wife that resents you, cheats on you behind your back. Don't be a free agent in life. Don't end up like these guys.